All right, y'all, let's get into part 2 of visions and dreams and a big picture and tie the veil being lifted together, okay? So we're getting into Jesus, being very little into that Bible, okay? It's the test of men. It's the Baal worship, the Bible, and that Bible, there's 2 laws. Jesus gave us 1 law saying, hey, we can do all things. And then there's another law brought to us by the other Jesus. Jesus is Jesus, okay? And there's Jesus that lives in heaven, and there's Jesus that's been cast down to the ground, all right? But we are Jesus or Satan, and we are also Lucifer, that light that's inside of us that's been cast down as the lightning that either is controlled by the 7 heads and 10 horns of the is not, or we are controlled by the 7 heads and 10 horns of the is to come. Okay? The is to come is knowing that we are the everlasting light, that we are born again when we die, that heaven and earth are right here. Hell is when you're in the bondage of other men. Hell is when you have to go work for other men. Hell is capitalism. Hell is what you have on earth right now that everybody loves. And as they love their hell, hell is being broken open and is going to consume them. Okay, as the consumerism. With the currency, when the flood comes and changes and they can't go out and get all the shit that controls them. Because there's a beast that gives freedom. Jesus, who's brought to you as a scary dragon, brought to you as a demon, brought to you as Halloween. Halloween's where you can dress up and do all things. You can be all whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do that night. You can get all the fucking candy you want. No rules, no regulations. That's Jesus, the real Jesus. The Jesus they bring to you in church is the one that Paul made up for the test of men to control the church. To control the church. Do you understand that? We are the church. He's controlling the temple with the temple. So as all these things are working together, that test of men, that Jesus, Paul recognized Jesus. He's acting as Jesus, and he's coming and controlling things. Okay, y'all? They're twisting things to make you think Jesus is some perfect dude, that he was sinless, blah, blah, blah. If he was sinless, if he was perfect, they didn't kill somebody because he was sinless and perfect. They killed him because the whole Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and you have other secular history talking about these things too, but Jesus is calling out the Jew the whole time. Jesus is calling out the church, the temple, the Pharisee, the pastor, the whole time. And that's why Paul, the Pharisee, he recognized Jesus. He saw Jesus, and he had to come in and fix that shit. And he had to come in and set up some spiritual law where everything you're doing today in our nation, every movie, every game, every song, every whatever, is against your rule book, is against your Lord's book. The Lord done, and the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh, and the Lord's giving as a test of men. And then he's going to take as a test of men, because he's a man of war. And the Lord is coming to bring war, and that Lord is Adon. Adon means the Lord, and he is starting that Third Reich, and whatever, and it's all going to be done in a twist and a reverse. And the rebels, the Dons and the Red Party or whatever, they're going to bring hell on earth, and they're going to bring destruction on this nation by going against the government who's setting up the millennial kingdom to give all men freedom, to give all men an opportunity to where we get all of our housing, food, clothing, all these things that should be provided by nature for free. We should just be able to go out and build a house wherever we want to build it. We should be able to do this, that, and the other. That's a basic man's needs. And those are going to all be given. And as this is all given, the own ear ship on that sea of currency, it's going to sink away because they don't own their own ear. They own it. And they're sinking that ship, and they live on that ship. And when the cannons come, those of us who have the eyes and ears, the cannonball run's coming. There's going to be different events, different bombs going off that are subdued, that are of the punishment, that are going to signal the eyes and ears like, dude, the flood is almost here. And we're going to get into this with the Icelandic stuff or whatever, because this is giving some clues. But from going on from this Christmas or this holiday season 2023 is setting up to the flip. You got to remember Xmas in July. So when it's summer here, it's winter in South. Okay. So this going from one setup to another setup to another setup. Okay. And this is where you get a perfect alignments, so on. But the 22, Revelation 22, we've been trying to find the marker on 22 start, and that is for the Revelation 22, because that connects us to the alphabet, the 26, and sign is 27. That's the DNA. So that's with that, okay? So that's where you get the 22 starting open, and then 22, 23 for the skulls and bones, all right? That's where the head and body being gathered up in different ways, and the bride being gathered up in different ways, bride of Satan, bride of Jesus, whatever. So as the 22, 23 mark come, all right, then you have the 24, 25, 26, 27. That's when America opens and closes. So you have a double 24 with 2024, and then you have the 24 on the 2025 for the 9/11 anniversary, okay? So that 24 to that 24 is going to open up the 24 to play out to the wilderness, okay? So this is where we see perfect alignments with the election, and from 2024 summer to the holidays and school start and all that stuff. That's when you see the things cracking open now, the APEC with Biden and XI, the AI, the ping for that life game, the Golden Gate for that Oz, the BRICS going to the new heaven, and that gate for the gates of hell for Matt Gaetz and Firebrand. Anyways, all those are cracking open now, and as they're cracking open, you're going to get those spring chickens for that phoenix to rise up out of the ashes in different ways. The currency and all these things are going to be set. It's all going to go. And then eventually by a certain day and hour, which would be in 2024, for that election time and that divide and all those things. Okay. So we just see different things playing out, and we need to understand this from one time to another time. It's segments of time. The things that we've been shown, we've been putting together. So as I've been laying the foundation out as it comes, the people have been following along the whole time. They're seeing and hearing things on their own now. They're sending stuff on their own. Anyways, it's all being gathered up, and it's y'all's choice to either listen or not listen and go back and see what's there to offer. But all these things can be tested. It's all here now. The body's being gathered now. The foundation's been laid out. The veil's being lifted. The light's been transferred. And all these things, okay? So you just got to go back and listen and watch, and then you will be able to see and hear better and start understanding the things put forth. Otherwise, it's going to sound crazy and whatever else. So either way, we'll end the video here. Everything's now that 22 to 26, 27. They're all playing out in a double twin year increment, and they're aligning, and it's that live game, folks. Okay? So, adios.